about mind over body? Could the power of the mind make a serious difference when it comes to tackling an illness? It's really amazing what the mind can achieve, and to give us some insight into this is a renowned health psychologist based here in Dubai, where she says her work can make a major difference in the community. So please give a warm welcome to Dr. Melanie.
Mystery of the mind, the influence of mind over body. As Riz said, I'm sure you can remember about the old mind over matter. And I'm sure you can take yourself back to when maybe you were a young child and you had the worst wound, maybe you'd grazed your knee, and what seemed like the biggest problem in your life could be healed in a jiffy with one of these. And with one of these. And it just didn't seem to hurt anymore, did it? Well, the placebo effect could tell us about the root of this potential. In scientific research, a placebo is any clinical intervention which is compared against an experimental intervention. So a placebo is something that, maybe in this case, if we're talking about antidepressants, looks like the real thing, tastes like the real thing, but is pretty much a nothing pill. But generally when people go through experiments, they don't realise they're getting that nothing pill. They truly believe they're getting the treatment that works. As you can see here, for antidepressants, a lot of research has been done. Some people obviously, in some experiments, get your antidepressant pill, others get the placebo. The results are interesting. Now what happens when people who receive a placebo end up getting spectacular results, recovering, feeling better? Well, that's what we call the placebo effect. So I want to take you on a little scientific journey today, talking to you about some of the treatment characteristics that we know of, as well as some of the psychological characteristics. So like all good scientists, I know you want to get to the very bottom of this, so let's go to the bathroom. When was the last time you took a pill? If it's like you're like the average person, it was probably today, and it was probably more than one pill at that. But are you aware of the actual treatment characteristics, or what differentiates one pill from another? Well, there was a 2008 article written in Brain by Barry Oaken. He showed that in general, people who take capsules seem to do a lot better in terms of their pain than people who take tablets. People also perceive larger pills to be a lot more effective than smaller pills. What about the number of pills that people take? A wonderful study was done with stomach ulcers. So you're dealing with people who have burning sensation in their gut, pretty unpleasant. But the great thing is you can get a camera, you can stick it down inside their stomachs and have a good old look around. So in this case you'd be looking at the healing rate of these ulcers. No subjective effects to be found. What the people did in this experiment was obviously give the people with ulcers the experimental drug. But the interesting thing was they had another group who was receiving the placebo. One group who got the placebo though got 4 pills every day to heal their ulcers. The other placebo, because this experiment had 2 placebos, the other people got 2 pills a day to help with their ulcers. What did the results show? The results showed that 4 pills were better than 2. They found that 800 people recovered completely after 1 month of their stomach ulcers. This was compared to about 545 people who recovered after 1 month, receiving a mere 2 pills a day. But don't forget, all of these people were getting sugar pills, and their ulcers all healed completely after 1 month. What about the colour of pills? If you're taking a white pill, you are likely to recover from your pain. People seem to associate white with being effective with reducing your pain. Pink is great for concentration. Blue is probably the colour of the pill that you take at night when you're trying to get to sleep. If you're taking oranges or reds, it's going to have a stimulant effect. So yes, the colour matters. Brand names, overt marketing also has significant impact on people. If you take a brand name product, you're much more likely to feel like you're getting more superior help than if you're just going to get, say, 1 white tablet from 1 white simple box. What about the price of medications? It seems to be that the more expensive a product, the more superior, again, that people will think it is. What about these? These are liquid gold capsules. Can you imagine what it would be doing to your thoughts and mind if you thought you were taking these? Wow, so people think they're going to be indestructible if they take these pills. That's a pretty good outcome. A recent study done by a man called Bruce Moseley, which was printed in the New England Journal of Medicine, looked at subjects who had osteoarthritis of the knee. Now, this is a pretty serious condition. You've got people hobbling around in pain. There's a lot of swelling, there's inflammation. They can't do a lot. Bending, stretching, flexibility, walking. You know what it's like if you have anything wrong with your knees. So what he did was, obviously, he gave some surgery to people who had this osteoarthritis of the knee. Surgery where they shave the cartilage was, at the time actually, the standard therapy. The difference with this experiment, though, was he had two other groups. He had another experimental group, so they got the knee joint flushing out all of the inflammatory material. He also then had another group. Now, this was actually the placebo group. The placebo group was simply opened up. The surgeon basically pretended he was performing an operation, and 40 minutes later, he sewed them up again. So all of these people had gone in, they'd paid $5,000 US, they'd all been anaesthetised, and this is what the results showed. Great. At every time point, right up until a 2-year period, everybody had significant pain relief. The placebo effect can show us a lot of the root of the potential, of the power of the mind. And it all starts here, inside your head.